Hello Tubesers, it's Gav and welcome to another video. This is part 2 of the two busts that I intend to paint next. It's a quick one. Yeah, I know, Gav's videos never particularly quick. What I've done is spray them over with primer. This one was, I've got different primers, but this one was Mr. Surface Earth 1200, I believe. I've then put just a black Vallejo model colour over, and then I used some white inks I'd seen Marco Frizzoli use on his channel. I did have some clogging with that. It's fairly opaque, I believe, this one. Whether I didn't thin it down enough, so I clogged it the first time after a bit of use, and you can see the little bits of the, the chalkiness of the white in there. Cleaned it out and put some more in, and it flowed pretty decent. I practiced on the Dragoon first. I want him to be lighter, and then I've not done a huge amount of white over the Commodus bust, only because he's nearly all in dark colours, and I didn't particularly want to overly emphasise that. Again, I've painted I've painted 4 busts now. Lucky Jack, which you see as my channel emblem, the dwarf, which I've even forgot his name now, but that's the green one, the Soviet fighter pilot from World War II, and the Native American Warrior of the Plains bust, which they've all got the good points and all got the bad points, but my point is I'm only learning. I'm making loads of mistakes as I go. When I put these videos up, you're not going to be able to take a huge amount away from them. It's more, just take a look at what I'm doing. If there is bits you can learn, great. As I say, I don't know enough about the subject to sit here pontificating. That's a big word for a Thursday. I can't even spell it. But yeah, I can't sit here saying do this, do that. It's really just, if you see a bit that you like, maybe you can try it on your own stuff. Now, the big departure for me, to say I've only painted 4, is I'm actually going to be trying oils for the first time. Reason being, I've signed up to a couple more channels. I've had to look down, they're both not English names, so I do apologise if I'm going to stuff these up. You've got Milan Dufek. He does a whole range of display figures. It looks to be oils, but in the oils as well, he'll use acrylic colours afterwards for different bits and pieces, so it's not strictly all oils, which is good, because that's what I hope to do on this. And then Dmitry Feschiko, sorry, no, I'm not even going to try again. Both are really well known painters, and I didn't even realise they got channels up. You'll probably see both on Putty and Paint. Well, I know you'll definitely see Dmitry, because I've seen his work loads on there. So yeah, I was watching particularly Milan's work, and I just thought, you know what, I like the way the colours are working on here with the oils. I'm going to have a go on these 2 busts. I've seen it before where people also put an overspray of green on the faces to show some tones in there. Especially I thought it would be good on Commodus's being a Mediterranean face. But also I've done it on the Dragoon bust as well. I'm not sure if the green's a bit too dark. I don't really mind. I'm learning. Then I'm going to use my airbrush again. There's nothing there that you can't. I've sketched values on before. So values is your different, how dark and light things are. I believe. So I'm just a guy who paints figures badly. But you can do everything with a brush. He was using airbrush to do that bit, and I thought, and I've seen Marco do it as well, and I just thought, yeah, I've got an airbrush, let's give it a go. I'm now going to airbrush some skin tones over the faces as well. I haven't got many oils. I've got a few that I use for Luckily I have got a few because they're blooming expensive, but they do last you a life, well, 5 or 6 years probably. But I've got some of those that I would use for, and I have been using them on the 28s actually for the for some washes and things. So I've got things like burnt umber, raw umber, I believe, not burnt sienna, I'm not sure, but I've got a few, but I haven't got any of the primary colours, you know, red, blue, green, all that type of stuff. So I ain't got a load of money at the moment, but I'm gonna get me a few of the primaries and maybe something like magenta and things like that. I can't afford a lot, but it should be enough to get me through learning how they work on this bus, because Commodus is all black with some, I say, some purple in there, obviously being imperial colours. So I'm just looking over it in now, and obviously you've got the facial tones and things, so that's all I can make out of those colours anyway. And you know, with the reds, mixing, you know, different browns and that in with for the jacket, and then add on what I need to in acrylics afterwards. So yeah, it's that's what I intend to do. I'll also be doing a base layer in acrylics as well on the jackets and things, and as well. So some with the airbrush. I'm not that good with the airbrush to do the intricate stuff, as you'll see in a minute with the sketches. So yeah. So the next time you see these, I'll probably shoot the video with the faces airbrushed in with the basic tones, skin tones, and probably the you know, the torsos as well. Shoot that as a video, quickly show that, and then we'll move on to hopefully by then I'll have got the oils, and we can move on and see what a mess we can make with the oils. But I'll put Milan's and Dimitri's channels as links. I really do suggest you go and see them. What I like about Milan's is a lot of it is and Dimitri's as well, a lot of it is quite lengthy videos. It's great for me because I have them on in the background, and I'll usually watch the same video, or I'll, you know, might give it a few days, go back and see the same video 2 or 3 times just for things to sink in as I'm painting. So yeah, we're going to have the challenge of painting these in oils. So I've just got to wait for some oils to come. So might be a slight delay, we'll see. Right, down at the desk, we'll have a quick look at these on a close-up, and then we'll call it a day. Right guys, sorry about the messy desk with no backing. I usually put a bit of black card up and that, but this is a bit impromptu. I just wanted to get these videos out of the way, because I would like to document it for myself, never mind for you guys. So it's as you can see, and I can't, one moment. I'll tell you what guys, age is a killer. There we go. I got the readers on, I can actually see what I'm actually trying to tell you now. So I've gone for a lighter tones and values. I'm not even sure if I'm using them. I should stop trying to use fancy artistic words, because I know bits of them. I get them all messed up, and I'm only confused. You'll get you guys. Never mind myself, and I'm sure I'll get some hater telling me I'm using the wrong words for this, that, and the other. But anyway, let's just talk in simplistic terms. So we've put our grey right on schedule. That's you, Tom. That's you coming in on the phone. Right. Done any grey primer, automotive, whatever you fancy doing, whatever's safe for you. I've used Mr. Surfacer 12,000 because I just happen to have it handy, 1200 even. Sounds like a race. Then I've put some black in the shadow areas, which I've almost obliterated with with the white ink. You can use white paint. The Marco's, sorry, I've got that many names in my head now. Marco on his channel suggested white inks because he reckons they don't chalk up as much, and I must admit this one doesn't seem to have done. You know, don't have that speckly chalky look unless you're particularly going for it. So that's some Rowley. Oh my life, what is it? Let's turn around, Gav. Can you see from there? No, Dowler and Rowney, something like that. Anyway, ink, artist ink. You'll find it. It's about £5 a bottle. Not cheap. Yeah, so we've then gone over, you can't see it so much on this one because I've tried to not make it as dark, and the base layer isn't so dark. I've put green on, which was a Vallejo model colour, and it was olive grey, just to give like a greenish hue underneath. And on top of that, I have no idea yet, but it'll be my usual cork brown mix as a base, and then we'll put some other tones in there as well to do the face. But that'll be your basic sketchy tones before we put the oils on. So that's our guy, nothing really to see there. So he's a bit lighter. Now Commodus, which will be the bust I'm painting first, he's more green. Yes, I know, baby Hulk. And a lot darker. You know, I have obviously lightened the tones up. The thing I couldn't get with the airbrush, which I would have done with my brush, and I still might do, is these areas here. I couldn't get the airbrush just without. I didn't want to. I was scared stiff of pooling and flooding. I'm only learning the airbrush, and it hasn't gone into the crevices, which is where you'd obviously want some really dark bits and pieces. So I'll be probably adding some brushes in there just to darken up the areas and around. Again, I was just too terrified of pooling and spidering everything. So as I say, this is all a load of firsts really, because normally I'd have painted this bust completely by brush. So it's you do get a lot smoother transitions, I must admit. But yeah, I'm going to have to go in these areas here and just darken them out. James had raised an interesting point from JVC Paints. Go and check James out. Lovely channel, lovely bloke. He's got a hairline scar on his lip, and I'm not even sure which side yet. I believe it's that side, but I can't remember without looking at photographs. I'll work that in somehow. The old idea of, hey, this is art, baby, this is art. You just work it, go with the flow, you just work your brush. It'll all happen like magic. That's what we hope anyway. So yeah, he's got a bit greenish, as you can see. So yeah, that's what we've got. Let's put in there so you've got something to see as I yak on for 2 seconds. Yeah, so next one, spray some skin tones over the faces, probably over the I might not. I'd probably get the cuirass painted actually all black, because I'm going to be putting silver on the emblems anyway. So, and the raised details. Let's put it that way. So yeah, we'll check that one out. We'll see. But yeah, it's oil paints. There'll be a slight delay, just because of getting the rest of the oils. As I say, I'm only going for a basic setup that I'll be able to mix myself, and if I enjoy the process over the 2 busts, then I might invest in some more. But you know, I couldn't believe it. I think it was Dimitri who had said, you know, cobalt blue, cadmium red, you know, they're expensive, and this is Winsor & Newton I'm using, which is a mid-range. It's their artist range, but it's the mid-range ones compared to some of the ones he was using. And even Winsor & Newton, I think it went from £6 a tube for, say, a basic green or yellow to nearly £30 a tube for those particular colours. I won't be getting those colours anytime soon. I'll just be working my way around with others to represent them. So anyway, guys, thanks a lot for stopping by and taking a look. And number 3 video will be up, you know, probably in a few days, a week or more, I don't know. But you know, I've got the bit between my teeth with those, and I look forward to putting some more up. Coming up fairly soon again, we've got some 28mm Claymore castings. We've got some 18mm Lancers. We've got I'm doing some decent work on the Land Rover 1/35 scale Pink Panther. I'm not showing that until I'm actually doing it in sub-assemblies. I've got the chassis all done. I'm not going to town on it. It's going to be stuck on a tiny little base, so I'm not going to go to town on it. You won't see it apart from when I flip it over on a quick video. But I've still got to do the back rear body and the front body. There's no engine in it, but you know, all the panels and stuff. So it's going to be probably a week or so before you see that. I'm just doing that every couple of nights. I get it on the desk and just do a couple of hours. The Chevy hasn't got much farther forward, I confess, but it will do. As I say, there'll suddenly be a little rush. You know what it's like with my videos. There'll be a sudden rush of what's being produced in the background. So, guys, you take care of yourselves. It's I look at my friends over there in the States, and there's some bad weather, obviously. Well, there's some horrendous fires on the West Coast. There's storm surges in Florida. You name it. It's not great. So you look after yourselves, and of course we've got the plague going round as usual. So stick at your desks where you can, get those kits built, get the figures painted, and we'll all be in a decent mindset. Look after yourselves.